Good afternoon, Scranton Federation of Teachers and invited guests. I encourage everybody to come up a little bit. We're about to begin. I'm going to ask the class to get quiet. If we could have everybody's attention. As we do with all of our union meetings, we're going to remember today is Armed Forces Day in the United States. So we're going to pledge our flag, and we'll take a moment of silence and tribute to all of the men and women serving our country now, and all the men and women serving who have served our country in the past. So if I could ask everyone to please be silent while we say, or be silent, stand at attention while we say the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Our flag is right here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. This afternoon, we have some wonderful invited guests who've traveled far to come here and be with us. And they have given their all to support our local here in Scranton, 1147. I don't know any words or ways to say thank you to them other than to say thank you. The AFT, our national, and the AFT Pennsylvania, our state, have done everything in their power to support us in the struggle we have here in our city. So please, it means the world to me that all of you came out on a Saturday afternoon. I know some of you were at a ball game this morning. I hope you won. But as we only do in Scranton, Pennsylvania, I hope everybody had something to eat. And before you leave, make sure you have some ice cream. The ice cream truck is being run by one of our teachers, Jamie Reap. So let's hear for Jamie. So I knew that would be an important aspect, having ice cream. So also, I don't want to belabor this because we have to get moving, but Nolan, I don't know where you went to, but I need Nolan up here by me in a few minutes if you could make your way up towards us. I want to say before we get into any stuff, Representative Marty Flynn, who is running for our state Senate, who is a champion for labor, never has a vote against us, and he is endorsed by us and AFT Pennsylvania and the AFL-CIO. Roxy, I know you're here from AFL. All the AFL-CIO folks, raise your hand. Well, we are all AFL-CIO. We want to thank them for all their work because they're out doing their job the same way we're doing ours. So I want to say thanks to everybody. We have to get this government in Harrisburg on our team, and we have to get the Scranton School Board fixed, and that's what this is all about. So without further ado, I'm going to ask our state president, Arthur Steinberg, who traveled up from Philly today, to have a few words. Arthur.
Thank you, Rosemary, and thank all of you for being here to help save the Scranton School District and, by extension, the city of Scranton itself. Let's be clear on why we're here. In the last few years, you all had to deal with a school board president who seems to be on a drive to have as many teachers and paras leave the district as is possible. As you know, all of our educators have endured a lot in the past few years. And I'm sorry, this past year. It's been something we've never seen, and it has helped to draw a focus on the importance of education. It is with mixed emotions that I'm here today. I'm thrilled to be here to support you, and the turnout of this crowd is indicative of how important that you feel education is, but I'm outraged at the conditions that have brought me here. You have, Scranton is the poster child for the underfunding and chronic disinvestment in education and urban areas in the state of Pennsylvania. Not only are you historically underfunded with your school district, but the city of Scranton has been in municipal recovery longer than any other city in the state of Pennsylvania. That is an absolute disgrace. It is imperative that we get a fair, all the money go through the state fair funding formula. This state legislature and the governor's office, who has been supportive for the most part, have actually appealed the decision of the courts and have made us go to court to have all the money flow through the fair funding formula in the state of Pennsylvania. I'll give you a quick background on that. New money goes through the fair funding formula. However, if all the old money went through it, you would have enough money in Scranton to fund your pre-K program, which again was the epitome of what an educational system is supposed to be. Pre-K lays the foundation for everybody else. The data shows that. And when you have a viable pre-K program, your kids achieve more, they earn more money, and you can rebuild the middle class. And it is unconscionable that it's been cut. And I'm thrilled that you have school board candidates here that pledge to bring it back. And I urge all of you to go out and work and support them so that after Tuesday we can sit down at the table and see all of us as real partners and collaborators. And then the AFT, Randy will speak to what National is going to do, which is tremendous. And the state of Pennsylvania as well will pledge a lot of resources to help you bring this city back. I mean, it is a disgrace that President Biden is from here. And what did he just say yesterday about pre-K? And this city cut it out. So let's make this an example of what he envisions for the future and bring Scranton back to the place it belongs. Thank you.
Let's hear an amen to that. So without further ado, as all of you know, what Arthur just said couldn't be more true. It's absolutely true. We had pre-K in this city, in our Scranton City School District, since 1999. And then they decided, oh, it has to go. What are they doing with that money? You know what they're doing? They told principals you could do whatever you want with it. Well, guess what? What a bad decision was that. Every data that was collected, all data, in the 90s proved beyond a reasonable doubt that the pre-K kids graduated from high school, went on to further studies because they had the correct start in school. And our district cut it out. So we've got to fix that cutting board. Get rid of it. It's time to get rid of it. And you and I can do that. But we can't do it alone. Everybody has to get out and march and get this job done before Tuesday. Tuesday at 9 o'clock, it's too late. You've got to work now. All of us have to work. I don't care. Go around your block again. Knock on the door, say, hey, I'm your neighbor. Please help us out. Help the kids out. That's a vitally important thing. And whether or not anybody understands it or not, without the Scranton School District surviving this mess, there will be no city of Scranton. It's gone. Nobody's moving here. So we have to work hard. And so here's why we're going to work hard. I'm about to introduce our candidates for school board. Get to know them, if you don't already. Memorize their names so you can tell every man, woman, and child you know who to vote for. So here we go. Tom Borthwick is up here. Tom, where are you? Go ahead, Tom. You go first.
Thank you so much for everything. The SFT stands for working people, but it also stands for kids. And it's very important to know that we need a better board. Right now, what we're getting isn't what we deserve. It's not what we're paying for with our taxes. People are leaving the district. Teachers, good quality educators are leaving the district in droves because you're not being appreciated or recognized. And who does that hurt? It hurts our kids, and it hurts our community. And the board majority is not recognizing that. So we need to get together, and we need to work together and get out there to build a better board. So thank you very much.
And next in the lineup, it's Danielle Chesek.
Thank you. I first want to thank everyone for coming out today, SFT, AFT, and especially Randy from the AFT. You guys have been amazing, and we appreciate all you have done. I first want to introduce my son. He's hiding behind me.
He's on your
right here, if you can see him, this is CJ. He's a first grader at Isaac Tripp. And he is my motivation, my inspiration, and the reason why I am standing here today. So I want to talk about unity really quick. I don't know if anyone has ever seen candidates work together. We are actually opponents, and we want to bring that same unity to the Scranton School District. We want to work together with the board, with teachers, paraprofessionals, everyone. Right now, there's a really big disconnect, and I think bringing unity and having everyone work together for a common goal is what the Scranton School District needs right now. So thank you.
Next in the lineup is Greg Popil. Greg.
Thank you, Rosemary. Thank you all for coming out and supporting us. It's so heartwarming to see support like this. We are here to help the Scranton School District. We are here to help the teachers. We are here to help the students, and we are also here to help the taxpayers. We continually, I voted against this recovery plan because it doesn't address the real concerns of the district. It continually tells us that we have to increase our taxes. We are the highest taxed urban school district in the state of Pennsylvania. That's unacceptable. And then, this is the one thing that put me over the edge. I swore to my wife I'd never run for anything again. I'm too old and I'm done with it. Until I saw that they closed the preschool program. I have two granddaughters that were through the preschool. They're both excellent students. One is an honor roll student. The other one just got a report card, nothing but straight A's. And it's because of the preschool. It's because of the start that they had. And it's because of the teachers that we have. We have to give these teachers a fair contract, and we have to do it right away. This is ridiculous. We're losing teachers, and that can't continue. Please give us a vote, and we'll put a stop to this nonsense, and we'll put a stop to it quickly. Thank you for your support.
Thanks, Greg. And next will be my friend Ty Holmes.
Good afternoon, everybody. First and foremost, thank you all for being here. I want to say thank you, especially to Mayor Connors. He's been guiding us, supporting us from day one, and I want to say thank you to him. I want to also say thank you to Randy and her team, Rosemary, your team, and especially all of you for going out and supporting us, doing the work. You're making our job a lot easier. I quickly want to touch upon one thing. I've been a part of some teams over the course of my life. Professionally, for 25 years, I served with the United States military, and I can tell you right now, I'm more proud to be serving with this group of people because you have a group of people who are currently, and I think this gets lost in translation, that are running for the same positions. But we are collectively working together, sharing information, because we're putting ego and personal agenda aside because we want to better this school district. That says a tremendous amount about everybody over there. So don't let them dilute the word, the mission, what we're trying to do by saying the team is bullying and going to do this. We're going to ask questions, which is what we're supposed to do. We represent you, okay? We don't represent the state. We represent you. We are your representatives. You are our boss. You hire and fire the board. So therefore, on May 18th. Please go out and vote for people that are going to represent you, that are going to fight for you, that are going to ask questions, and that are not going to give up and be bullied. I thank you very much for all your support.
You ready? Next up is Sean McAndrews. Sean.
Thanks everybody for coming out. It means so much for all your support and taking your Saturday to be here and supporting everybody. I was appointed to the board around 14 months ago because I was unhappy what's going on in the district. And I wanted to step up and get off the sidelines. But I promised myself I would do things my way if I got on the board. And that was not just say yes. It was not just accept the information I'm given by our Friday packets, and I would investigate things. I would ask the hard questions because that's what's lacking over the past 10, 15 years. That's why we're in this mess. And, my term is coming up, but I thought there's a lot more work that's left to be done. I want to help improve the education for our students. I want to be there and have the support to back our employees and to be the voice for our taxpayers. And I appreciate all your support. I hope my 14 months on the board, I proved that I'm a transparent, independent voice. I'm not afraid to speak up. And I'm not one, I don't make promises I can't deliver, but I can promise you this. If you like what I'm doing right now, I'm only getting started. So if you can support me for May 18th, I'd be honored. So thank you very much, and thanks for everything.
See that? It's okay to ask questions. We live with that every day of our lives. That's what we do. We have people ask us questions all day, every day, and we answer them. And if we don't know the answer, we say, I don't know that, but I'll come back to you and I'll get it. All I hear from school boards, questions from the audience, and never an answer. Never, ever does the answer get told. Nobody comes back a week later, 2 weeks later, sends an email, says, here's the answer. It doesn't happen. Nobody will answer the perfectly normal questions for people to ask. So you see all these little kids here today with their parents? That's why we're here. That's our mission in life, right there. So please, listen to the candidates. We've got to do our walking now before we have to do the walking on a different kind of line and a different occasion. So let's make this work, folks. Let's get out and help these men and women, get elected to our school board. By the way, there's a lady over here to my left. Stephanie, would you raise your hand? Stephanie Lee is our newest helper here. She's not new to the AFT. She was the president of New Mexico. As Arthur is to Pennsylvania, Stephanie is to New Mexico. She traveled here. She's helping us. Please give her a round of applause. And before I go to my next step, there are two people here that I've known forever, I guess. I think. That would be fair. Jimmy and Susie Connors. Jimmy. Jimmy and Susie met in preschool, right? She was this preschool. That's true, Susie, you can't deny. She was your preschool teacher, he said. And the only thing I can say about Jimmy today is that all of you won't know, he's been working like crazy to help our candidates get elected. He doesn't have to do that. But he has given them advice, sound advice, and he's there every step of the way with this. I know I got a letter from Susie and Jimmy at my house explaining who I need to vote for, and I take that seriously. So the only other thing Jimmy ever says to me is that I beat him in collecting votes when I became a delegate for Joe Biden. So Jimmy and I worked for President Joe Biden. And guess what Joe Biden said yesterday, last month, 2 months ago, when I first met him, when I first introduced him up at the Masonic Temple? He said pre-K. He said national pre-K. We got to get the 3-year-olds and the 4-year-olds in school. That's what he said. So our district is opposing our president. What kind of silliness, or as we like to say, the Biden group, what kind of malarkey is that? This is insane. We got a man elected who cares about working class people. We killed ourselves to get him elected when nobody else believed any of it. And here we are. Now they're taking everything away that Joe stands for. Dr. Jill Biden came here. Jennifer introduced her. She's all about children and children learning. So we got this great White House team, the president from Scranton and the wife from Philadelphia who teaches school. What are we doing? We're not listening to the President of the United States in his own hometown. It's illogical, and it's miserable, and it's a disservice to every one of these young children here today with us, and to the future children in Pennsylvania, Scranton School District. This has to stop. We're not going to go backwards 60 years. We're going forward, and they better figure that out. So Jimmy and Susie, I love you, and thank you so much for all you do. Keep it up, Jimmy. Yes.
We only have a couple days left, and one thing I'd like to say to the folks here. This is an incredible turnout. I was telling Bill Cockrell, who's head of the labor force.
He's our he's the treasurer of our labor council. Bill,
I've been in a lot of elections. You don't get a crowd.
do you want to come over here, Jimmy? Give him a mic. It's too hard to talk out loud.
Seriously, folks, this is the absolute truth here. I've been in a lot of elections, and I won most of them, and I see Lynn Cawley here, and her dad won all of the elections. And the last weekend, you never, ever get a crowd like this that is willing to work. You're not here to drink beer. You're not here to drink beer. You're here to work, to help. And my late brother, Bo, Tommy Connors, told me a long time ago, he said, Jimmy, for a school district, if you have 6 people, I don't know why he came up with that number, 6 people who are absolutely dedicated to their candidate, they're not concerned. They're concerned as an American citizen, but they're not concerned with who's going to be the judge, who's going to be the council, who's going to be the mayor. They're concerned with who's going to take care of our children. And if you have 6 people like that, you can tip the world over. This group here, in the next couple days, can win this election. And remember, we have 5 candidates. We have to bring them all in. If we don't bring them all in, we may not have the kind of influence that we want on the school board. And remember this also, and this is the last thing I'll say, although Susie says I always say that, and then I keep going, but I won't. The last thing I'll say is this. This is very simple. This is a school board that killed a preschool program that was the talk of the nation. I know because I ran it when I worked at the school district, and Susie was a preschool teacher. They killed this preschool program that was funded by the federal government, Title I. We did not have to pay for it here. We didn't have to pay for the teachers or the space. They still have not given us a reason why they did that. The second thing is they're closing a viable school in one of our neighborhoods, Bancroft School, that is working well, serving our children, serving our parents, and they're killing it. And unless we not read their recovery plan, they're planning to close 4 or 5 more. Why, I don't know. But for those of you who have kids in Adams School, Morris, McNichols Plaza, Prescott, and there's probably another one. So that's what they're going to do next. JFK, right. Now ask yourself why. They're killing the public school system here in Scranton. It's a disgrace, and as Greg Popil will tell you, they have already promised to raise your taxes. So when you talk to senior citizens who might say to you, well, I don't have anybody in the schools. Yes, but you pay taxes. They've promised to raise your taxes for the next 4 years, every year for 4 years. So keep that in mind. Preschool, Bancroft School, and taxes. Susie's telling me enough. Cut it. Anyway, thank you for listening. I don't get much of a chance anymore to talk. Thank you. This is one of the best teams I have ever seen. And I know Lynn Harding, Carly, had a lot to do with putting this team together, as did Rosie, my old friend. Where is she?
Thank you. And the next person we're going to bring up needs no introduction from me, but she's a good friend to me and has been for a long, long time. Well, we won't say it that way. For quite some time. And I have a special surprise for her. She doesn't know about this, but Randy, if you would come up here. One of our teachers in our district, one of our art teachers, Rosemary Robertson, Rosemary, get it? Where's Rosie? Rosie, move up. Rosie wrote a book. Ro Robertson wrote a book. And it's all about Joe Biden's start here on the road to the White House. Wow. So Randy, you're getting an autographed copy of Rosemary's book. And I think she wrote it for me because the print is large. So Arthur, here's your autographed copy. On behalf of our teacher, Rosemary Robertson, buy her book. I got mine.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love this. Okay, let's see. Since I am double vaxxed, I can take off my mask, at least outside. We will be asking the CDC, by the way, next week, just, you know, all the kind of questions about what this actually means we can do inside, but certainly at least outside, you can hear me. And I just, first off, you know, your mayor, I know he's your retired mayor, but your mayor just basically took everything that I was about to say. So I'm just going to say ditto, 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 and thank you, Mr. Mayor, and mostly remember what he said about get out the vote and go vote. But the reason I'm here, I don't know, I think this is probably the 4th time in 2 years that I've been here. Right before COVID hit, I was in Scranton fighting for the pre-K program. And I, too, do not understand what has happened. It's so great to speak without a mask. I am asthmatic, so every time I speak with a mask, for any of us who are asthmatic, you know what happens. So, several phone calls with the governor, with the commissioner, the former commissioner, with Dr. Feynman, with others, and I agree with the mayor. I still do not understand why anybody would take a pre-K program that was not only one of the best pre-K programs in America, but it said to people across the United States that Scranton gets pre-kindergarten right. And as many of you know, when you talk to parents, when you talk to community members on any town across America, people talk about one or two or three things that happen in a town. People love the towns. They may leave, but they love the towns they grew up in. And I hear all the time from people about how important the pre-K program was in terms of just embedding community, saying that our kids matter, saying that an early start matters. And I also never understood why, when the federal government through Title I was paying for that pre-K program, why there was no one else other than the people in Scranton who were fighting for that program. And one of the reasons that I am here today is that the 5 candidates who are running for this board right now, they are fighting. And I loved what Tom said. You build, and I'll change it a little bit. You build back better by building a better school board. You build back the freedom to thrive for all of our children by building a better school board. We recreate early childhood programs by building a better school board. We recreate opportunities. How am I doing? Am I doing okay? You want to come with me? You okay? It's fine. We recreate the opportunities for career tech ed. It's great to see the AFL here. We recreate the opportunities for career tech ed, for business in Scranton, for the kind of community life that we want in Scranton by having a better school board. It's not simply that we have to turn around the terrible ventilation systems that, by the way, the American Rescue Plan gives us funding. What the heck are they doing with the funding? It should be to build these ventilation systems. Thank you. It should be to change, to make sure the buildings are not moldy. What the heck are they doing with that money right now? I can go on and on. But this is the point. You have a financial plan that raises taxes and that doesn't do one thing to help nurture the community, to help invest in the schools. It's just an austerity and a privatization plan. And that is not just wrong, it's immoral. But you have a choice. The choice is really clear. You've heard from these 5 folks, Ty and Danielle and Sean and Greg and Tom. You know their platform. It's not that it's going to be easy. This is the kind of issue that is around the entire country. What do you do? when business goes away? What do you do when the old economy leaves? How do you build back better? It's not like this is an easy question to answer, but we got a president of the United States who understands that this is a really important question to answer, and how he is answering it is by investment in communities. The rescue plan, the family plan, the jobs plan, and then you have a current school board and a current, whatever it is, administrator of that school board that refuses not only to listen, but that takes the fundamental building blocks that you have all worked on away and makes it worse, not easier. And I'm not even talking about the shortages we now have in terms of educators and the fact that people haven't gotten a decent raise. Not even talking about that. My point is, and then I'll get off this podium, you have a real choice now. And that's why, as the mayor said, all of you are in this parking lot right now. You have a choice. We have a choice. We have people who will change things. Our job is to get them elected. And it is, in these last 3 days, this is the do or die time. I was just in, a couple of weeks ago, El Paso, Texas, and Socorro, Texas. The school board candidates in El Paso who are about dedicated to changing public schools, to making sure that public schools had the funding, they won. We went door to door with them. They won. I'm sure they did win because I went door to door with them. But they invested in doing that. Right next door in Socorro, our candidates lost by 23 votes. 20?
No way.
I'm saying this for a reason. And a great superintendent the next day just left. And all the work that they had done, it was one of the only districts in Texas where people took care of each other. They wore masks, they had the social distancing, they didn't listen to the governor, they did what they needed to do. This is a place where that Walmart was, where several people were shot and killed. And that school board, the old school board, which was really helpful, lost by 23 votes because people didn't go out, because people didn't think it was worth their while, because they thought, look, they're doing a good enough job. They're fine. I know it's COVID. I know people are anxious. I know people are stressed. But you have a shot at changing what happens in Scranton if we get out the vote and if we vote. So my question is, will everyone in this parking lot, the mayor said 6, if we make sure tonight we get to 10 people between now and tonight, we will change this around. Will we get to 10 of our neighbors between now and tonight? I can't hear you. Will we get to 10 of our neighbors between now and tonight? And then, will we get to 10 of our neighbors tomorrow? And then, will we get to 10 of our neighbors on Monday? And if we do that, Ty and Danielle and Sean and Greg and Tom will be your new school board, and we will build back better. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.